All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Deep Dive. And today we're diving into something, well, kind of strange, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit off the beaten path.
Yeah. We're talking about how China decided to respond to those new U.S. tariffs. And, we're not talking about the usual diplomatic stuff, press releases, that kind of thing.
Right. Not the usual back and forth.
No. This time, it's all about AI.
AI-generated media, specifically.
Yeah. We're talking rap videos, sci-fi films, all cooked up by AI to push back against, well, economic policy.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought? Pretty wild twist in international relations, right?
Pretty wild is a good way to put it. And it really makes you think, doesn't it, about how much influence, how much power there is in this digital world, especially when you bring AI into the mix.
Absolutely. It's a whole new game.
It is a whole new game. So what we're going to do today is, really break down these AI creations that China's putting out, figure out, what they're trying to do, what kind of impact they might have, and what this all means for, well, for you, honestly.
Yeah. What does it mean for the average person scrolling through their feeds?
Exactly, for the average person trying to make sense of the world. So before we get into the AI stuff, we've got to set the scene a bit. Right?
Yeah, a little bit of context.
So it's April 2025. President Trump, he's back in the White House. And no surprise here, he decides to hit China with a whole new wave of tariffs on their goods.
Right. Back to the drawing board with that trade war.
Exactly. And, we've all seen this before. You'd expect the usual diplomatic dance, right? Some strongly worded statements, maybe a few countermeasures here and there.
Tit for tat.
Exactly. Tit for tat.
Yeah.
But this time, China flips the script.
They really did. I mean, think about it. It's like they decided to bypass all those traditional channels.
Yeah, completely.
And go straight for something way more, well, eye-catching. And I think there's a reason for that.
I think so, too.
I mean, they're thinking about how people, especially young people, get their information these days. They're not necessarily reading those long policy statements or following trade negotiations blow by blow.
No, they're not. They're on TikTok. They're watching videos.
They're consuming content.
They're consuming content, exactly. So that brings us to China's first move in this digital counteroffensive.
Which was?
A rap video.
A rap video.
Called Look What You Taxed Us Through.
Okay, I'm intrigued already.
Oh, yeah. And it gets better.
This video, it's put out by CGTN. It's a state-run media outlet, right? So very much a Chinese government voice.
Got it.
But here's the thing. The rapper in this video, he's American. Or at least he sounds and looks American. Like he walks straight out of, I don't know, Atlanta.
And this American rapper is?
AI. Entirely generated by AI.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? The voice, the lyrics, those animated visuals in the background, the music, the whole beat, all crafted by artificial intelligence.
That's incredible. So what's he rapping about?
Well, it's basically a diss track, a parody aimed at the U.S. economy. It's talking about rising prices, how everything's getting more expensive, how the economy's not working for everyday Americans.
It makes sense. And who do they blame for all this? You guessed it. Those tariffs.
Ah, I see. So they're trying to make this connection for the viewers.
Exactly. They're saying, hey, look at these tariffs are doing to you. It's hitting you right in your wallet, right? It's affecting your daily life.
Yeah. It's a very clever way to personalize the issue, to connect with people on a more emotional level.
Exactly. And guess what? It worked.
It went viral.
It went viral, especially with younger audiences, Gen Z.
Yeah.
And you want to know where a lot of them saw it for the first time.
I bet I can guess. TikTok.
You got it, TikTok.
Okay.
Which brings us to China's second piece of AI-generated content. This time, it's a sci-fi short film.
Okay, even more ambitious.
Right. This one's called Tariff, straight to the point.
No subtlety there.
Not at all. And this one, they released it through New China TV, another big state-run media outlet. So again, very official.
Government backed.
Yeah. Now, this film, it's a little more complex than the rap video. It's got a whole story, a whole world they built. It's set in this dystopian future where this robot, this very relentless robot named, you guessed it, Tariff, is running the show.
And what's this robot doing?
Well, it's basically enforcing these incredibly strict, incredibly harsh trade rules. And, what happens? The whole global economy just starts falling apart. Countries are struggling. People are suffering. It's chaos.
Sounds pretty bleak.
Yeah, it's painting a pretty dark picture of the future. But here's the twist. Here's the part that's really interesting. And I think it's really important for understanding what you're trying to say here.
Go on.
This robot, Tariff, the one that's causing all this trouble, it was originally created by Drum roll, please.
The U.S.
The U.S., exactly.
So they're turning the tables. They're saying, look, you created this monster.
They are. It's not subtle, is it?
Not at all, but it's effective. It's like they're taking this whole argument about tariffs and putting it into this very dramatic, very visual story.
And it's a story that, again, is designed to appeal to a global audience. They're not just talking to Americans here. They're talking to the world.
Right. They're saying, hey, everyone, look what these U.S. trade policies could lead to. It's a message about global consequences.
Exactly. Global consequences. And here's the thing, right? This entire film, the script, the characters, those visual effects, it was all AI.
Wow. So we're seeing two very different approaches here. We've got the in-your-face satire of the rap video, and then this more, I don't know, nuanced storytelling with the sci-fi film.
Yeah, two different styles, but the same goal. Using the power of digital storytelling and AI to make a political point.
Right. And the choice of AI is interesting in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's not just about the message, it's about the medium. The fact that they're using AI to create this content, that says something too.
And then, of course, there's TikTok.
Right. That whole other layer to this.
Yeah. As you know, Trump, he's back on that whole ban TikTok thing, right? Citing national security concerns, saying China's using it for influence.
Which, given these videos, seems kind of ironic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? They're worried about Chinese influence on TikTok, and then here's China using AI to create this content that's spreading like wildfire on the very platform they want to shut down.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it, about the whole nature of these platforms. Are they just for fun, for sharing dance videos and memes? Or are they something more? Are they tools of influence, tools of power?
Big questions.
Huge questions. And I think this whole situation with China and the AI videos, it just highlights how blurry those lines are getting.
Definitely, because, these videos, they're not just sitting on some official government website.
No, they're out in the wild.
You're out there. They're being shared on TikTok. People are making memes out of them, remixing them. And a lot of people who are seeing this stuff, they might not even realize where it came from originally, or what the message is supposed to be.
Right. It's all just part of the flow of content.
Exactly. So it brings us to the big question, right? Why AI?
Yeah, why go this route? What's the thinking here?
I mean, it's a big shift, isn't it? It's a whole new way of doing things on the international stage.
Absolutely. And I think it comes down to a few things. First, reaching those younger audiences we were talking about earlier. They're not paying attention to the traditional channels, but they are paying attention to things like music, like eye-catching videos, like cool stories, and AI can make that stuff, and it can make it fast, and it can make it cheap.
Yeah, it's like having this massive content factory that never sleeps.
Yeah.
And, it can tailor its message to all sorts of different audiences.
Exactly. It's incredibly adaptable.
It really is. And you mentioned something earlier that I think is really important here. You called this Psychological Operations 2.0.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty accurate way to describe it, honestly.
Because it is about influencing people, isn't it? About shaping the narrative, about shaping how people see the world. And AI gives you some pretty powerful tools to do that.
Yeah, some serious firepower in the information wars.
So where does this all lead? What does this mean for the future? For you, for me, for everyone?
Well, if you look at the big picture, it's possible that this is just the beginning. Maybe this is how international relations are going to be played out from now on. It's not just about military strength or economic power anymore. It's about who can control the narrative, who can shape the information landscape.
And if AI is the weapon of choice, well, things could get pretty intense.
They could. Imagine a world where countries are constantly bombarding each other with these AI-generated campaigns, trying to sway public opinion.
It's kind of a scary thought, isn't it? I mean, we've already seen what happens with disinformation and fake news. Imagine that, but amplified by AI.
Right. Imagine deepfake technology being used to create fake speeches by world leaders or to spread rumors that cause chaos and instability. Or imagine AI being used to create entire movements, entire ideologies without anyone even realizing they're being manipulated.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. And, it makes you wonder, what can we do about it?
Well, I think the first step is awareness. We need to understand that this is happening, and we need to be critical of the information we're consuming. We can't just take everything at face value anymore. We need to ask questions. Where did this information come from? Who's behind it? What's their agenda?
Exactly. We need to be media literate. We need to be able to think critically. And I think that's something we need to be teaching our kids, too.
Absolutely. It's a vital skill in this day and age.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave you with a couple of things to think about. First, is this use of AI by China? Is it a legitimate form of soft power? Is it just a new way of communicating on the global stage? Or is it something more sinister? Is it manipulation? Is it propaganda?
Good question. And second, what about TikTok? Is the concern about Chinese influence justified? Or are we overreacting?
Yeah, is it all just a big misunderstanding? Or is there something real to worry about here?
These are things we all need to be thinking about because the answers aren't clear-cut. But what is clear is that the world is changing, and technology is changing it faster than ever before, and we all need to be prepared to adapt.
Absolutely. We need to stay informed, we need to stay critical, and we need to keep asking questions because in the end, it's our responsibility to navigate this new world, this new information landscape, and to make sure that technology is used for good, not for harm.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's up to us to shape the future.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.